Welcome to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Every day, I want to be the first voice inside of your head, the first voice that motivates you to move. I put out these powerful segments every single day because I know the truth. The truth is that when you change your mind, you change your life. So let me, Ryan Stewman, the hardcore closer, get your mind right. So this morning, I woke up and I went for a run, and I was on the road, and I'm in California, and in Southern California, there's lots of hills and everything. And as I'm running, I have a choice, right? It's like, okay, I can go down this slight decline, and it'll be easy on my feet. It'll be easy on my calves. It won't be a lot of pressure on me. And so I go down this slight decline. I choose the path of least resistance, right? As soon as I do that, I'm mad at myself. Almost immediately, I'm like, Ryan, what the fuck you doing? You trying to do this to get in shape, or are you trying to do this to do things the easy way? And I get a little frustrated with myself, so I turn back around and I come back up the hill, and I'm running for another 5 or 10 minutes. And I look around the corner of where I'm headed, and I have a choice. I can keep going up this medium incline, or I can turn right by these tennis courts. I'm in a place called Rancho Valencia. It's where presidents stay and celebrities stay, and we're definitely the youngest couple on the grounds. We haven't even seen anybody under 60 years old running around here. It's a beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to visit, it's awesome. And so I make a right behind the tennis courts, because there's a steep incline, and I'm like, now we're talking. Now I can get even with myself for being lazy earlier. Now I can counterbalance that bullshit force of average that was coming my way. And as I head up this steep hill, and it reminded me a lot of the parking garage at the high rise that I used to run. I would run the thing, and if I ran up it 10 times, it was 1 mile. And then obviously coming down it would be another mile. So if I ran up it 10 times and came down, it would be 2 miles. And that's typically what I try to run is 2 miles, not too much. And then go ahead and do my workout from there, right? And so anyway, I start running up this incline that reminds me of the parking garage that used to be attached to the penthouse building that I lived in. But the hill doesn't stop. I just couldn't see. And as soon as I get around the side of the tennis court, I realize that it gets even steeper. And I tell myself, keep pushing, motherfucker, keep pushing. And I get up about halfway up the hill, and I look, and it gets even steeper. And I tell myself, you got this, Ryan. You got this. Keep pushing. My buddy Mike Reese told me yesterday when we were in a meeting, he said, when I'm running, he runs long distance. He's like cooler than I am. And he said, when I'm running long distance, when I'm running 30 miles, and I got 6 hours to run 30 miles, I tell myself, mile 20, I always want to quit. And I tell myself, what if I was dropped off in the middle of Afghanistan and I only had 6 hours to run 30 miles to get my kids and get back to the helicopter? And I keep pushing. And so I tell myself the same thing. What if Jack Sasher and Senator Stewman were up there waiting for me, and I had to go get them? So I kept pushing. And there was a Hispanic dude parked in a truck that was fixing to do some maintenance on one of the houses. And he gives me the thumbs up, and he's like, keep going. And I'm like, I'm pushing, I'm sweating, I'm huffing, I'm puffing, I'm breathing. And I get up to the top, and there's one house up there that is amazing. We're talking about a 12 to 15,000 square foot home, gates all around it, all the trimmings, all the flowers, like everything that you can imagine. I realize how lonely it is at the top because many people weren't willing to go up. There's joggers all around the property, but nobody went down the path that I went down. And I went down there by accident, or went up there rather by accident. And I tell you that story because running doesn't have a whole lot to do with anything other than the fact that you should keep your body in shape, because that's part of our 4Fs that we talk about in this Get Your Mind Right coaching program that I run. But I want you to understand something that's even more important. For every natural thought you have, there's a supernatural process taking place in the background. And it's a lot like the journey of life, really specifically the entrepreneur's journey. You look around the corner and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get this business going. It's going to be easy. And you take that slight downhill. And then you look around the corner and you're like, oh shit, here comes an uphill battle. But you know what? If I could just get through this short uphill battle, everything's going to be okay. If I could just make it up this one incline, then it'll plateau off and I'll be okay again. I can go right back to my comfort zone. I can get used to running at a level playing field again. And then when you get to where you think it's going to plateau, all of a sudden you get there and you realize, oh shit, it's getting even steeper. And what happens is most people turn around and walk back down. Same thing in the entrepreneurial journey or the sales journey or any business journey or life journeys. Anytime that there's a steep incline that wears you out, that, man, when I'm climbing this thing, I'm talking about my calves were hurting, my thighs were burning, my core, my back, everything. But I kept on pushing. And I kept on pushing until I got to the top. And that's been the journey of my life. You see, that's the reason why I've got the success that I have. And, one time a friend reached out to me and he says, in one video you say you're successful, in another video you say you're not. He's like, you're being conflicted. It's like, that's because I never feel successful enough. I never feel like I've actually reached success, because success is like an end game for me. And I don't know what the fucking end game is. There's no such thing as happily ever after in my world. And so as I'm pushing up this hill, I'm thinking this is the journey of my life, right? I mean, I've had this thing that looked like it was going to be easy. And then around every corner, there's a stiffer, tougher, taller, steeper challenge. It's going to be the same thing for your life. And I'm not talking about just your business or just your fitness. It's going to be in your family and your faith in yourself. You're going to want to quit. It's going to burn your thighs. It's going to burn your calves. It's going to hurt your core. It's going to hurt your back, but you've got to keep pushing. When I got to the top of the hill, the view was absolutely stunning. I could see across the Southern California landscape. I could see mansions in the background. I could see like the most beautiful flowers and trees and landscapes and all along the hills. And I had this clear vision. You see, when I'm down here at the bottom of the hill where I'm at right now in my villa, I look through my backyard and there's flowers and everything. I can't see 50 feet in front of me. But when I made to the top of that hill, I had the vision of an eagle. I could see for miles across the way. And it's the same across all four areas of your life. You see, there's going to be the force of average that tells you slow down, turn around, don't do it, don't push, and don't be painful, go back to your comfort zone, stop doing what you're doing, stop getting out of your comfort zone. But I'm telling you right now, when you push and you make it to the top, your vision expands. When you push and you get to the top, you see the beauty. When you push, you get to the top. More importantly, you feel the reward of doing something that most people can't do. You feel the treat, the trophy of getting something done that most people would have quit and turned around on. So whatever part of journey that you're in your life right now, whatever struggle you're facing, when your calves burn, when your thighs burn, when your back hurts, when your core's burning, keep on pushing, because when you finally do get to the top, your vision expands. When I got to the top, my vision expanded. I set new goals for myself. I said, this is what success looks like. Next level success looks like. And it's not about being in California. It's not about being around all these beautiful houses and beautiful people and everything else. But it's about embracing the pain that life brings your way and pushing through it, because the force of average wanted me to turn around. See, my muscles grew a little bit today because I pushed them a little harder than normal, which means my body grows. And that's all this whole entire thought process about, is growth, pushing ourselves through the pain, through the failure, against the force of average to grow. So today, my challenge to you is to grow. If you haven't been over to forceofaverage.com and watched that free video, man, let me show you how you can hack the code that this world operates by. Let me show you how you can hack your way through the algorithm of Earth to success. It's real talk. I'll go over to forceofaverage.com and go over and check that free video out. Give me a chance to change your mind, because when you change your mind, you change your life.